Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final of the Qualifier number 4 for the Limitless Invitational. I am Marcos Pataro, and I'm joined here by Rahul Reddy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
So, as we saw an amazing tournament in the past 2 days, 1,500 people competing for the title of champion. And it all came down to two people, Taketo Seki against Azul Garcia Griego. Who do you think is favored in this matchup? After all, they're playing pretty much the same deck.
I think it's got to be Taketo because he's got the Sonias, which I thought were a very interesting inclusion. But
Indeed.
the deck does suffer from finding some of its combo pieces early. And other than the, like turn one, like if you're going first, the card seems like a really good turn one supporter to have. Just because like it gets like all the pieces you need, you get the energy into your hand, you don't miss an energy drop. If you need to find the prism, the mime, you just get everything in one fell swoop.
Exactly. And we see, for example, Azul kind of compensated with that by playing 2 copies of the Mr. Mime from Detective Pikachu. But as you said, Sonia was an amazing surprise, to be fair. People didn't really eye it up until now. But Taketo just said, man, I've already played this meta. I probably know how it goes. And in fact included 2 copies of it. So we are jumping into the game right now.
Yep.
Let's see, start of Taskmane Necrozma. Probably not the best attacker in this matchup, but definitely a cannon fodder for Azul, who is right away just going for that Intrepid Sword. 2 energies already in turn 1 for that.
I think that's as ideal as he could ask for, right? You got the energy attachment, you have another follow-up energy. You're almost guaranteed a knockout next turn on
exactly
if you wanted. If Azul can find the combo pieces, I think that's a perfect like turn 2 knockout, take 3 prizes. That's a lot to ask for, of course, given the hand he has. But it would be pretty crazy if you could pull it off.
Indeed. And as well, one thing to notice is that Taketo is playing those 2 copies of Metal Goggles. While I believe Azul is not playing any defensive tools, right?
Yep.
Just playing a tool scrapper to respond to the opponent's Metal Goggles or Frying Pan. But yeah, unfortunately, here Taketo is forced to bench his Jirachi Prism because he doesn't want to discard it with the Professor Research. But of course, he has the scoop up nets to get it back.
Exactly. This deck gets like a lot of firepower from you never actually get rid of the combo unless it's prized because you have all these scoop up nets and switches, so you can just throw it on your bench and say, I'll just pick it up later. It's fine.
Indeed. And there we go. There's already the Oranguru. Maybe we can already see a Detective Pikachu Mr. Mime coming down with the Oranguru, possibly already having the combo into play. It's a bit early, but it's already one thing out of the book. Instead, he's just going for a Primal Wisdom, probably setting up for now.
Maybe just digging, maybe putting a metal on top for a guaranteed Intrepid Sword hit.
Oh yes,
I
definitely.
see that happening.
There's a scoop up net, the Jirachi Prism disappears back into the hand of Taketo. And let's take a look actually at Azul hand right now. It's not looking fantastic.
No. 2 energy, that's pretty
2 energies.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic stuff here for Taketo. Had an initial, not a great start, but he made it up in the single turn in which he started. But look at that. Oh my god, that Marnie for Azul is not fantastic. He did have the option to take that Taskmane Necrozma up into his hand if he wanted with the scoop up net, but he decided not to do so. Do you agree with this choice?
I think so. I think he heavily indicated by like not making that play that he's not going to attack this turn. And forcing Taketo to, like, this feels like old Mewtwo Wars or Darkrai Wars where the first person to swing sometimes is at a disadvantage, but you have to establish your board carefully and also kind of sense the turn where your opponent might be the weakest and just go in. Taketo, I think, wants to wait to find the goggles like you said earlier, and if that happens then Azul's on the back foot because he has to find the Scrapper.
Indeed.
Oh, this seems really strong from Taketo because he got the boss off that.
Exactly, and now if you say, there's a scoop up net, there's gonna be a knockout if he wants to on that Station V, and let's remember this is gonna be massive for the simple fact that not only removes the energy, but also Metal Goggles to top it off.
Oh,
mon dieu,
that's hard.
Definitely, yeah.
Now Azul has to find his 1 copy of the Scrapper to deal with that, or it's going to be a tough one to deal with here.
Indeed, indeed. And that's the power of Zacian. A card that, in the previous qualifier, because of the popularity of Pikarom and the speed of Pikarom, was kind of overshadowed. But people are taking up this, as we see, the final is literally 2 mono Zacians, which are really proving themselves to be worthy. As well, a Metal Saucer.
This is the turn, if any, where Azul has to say, I need to dig deep. I need to find that Scrapper, even if it means I need to use my Dedenne. Whatever. Like, he has to just go in this turn, because if he doesn't, the tempo is going to fall too far behind. We saw Taketo grab.
Find it. There's a double switch. Maybe there is an option here.
He did see Taketo grab a switch off of his Jirachi, so.
Oh, man.
Scoop up net means he can keep going Jirachi if he wants it.
There's another chance. I think probably that's the better choice. Maybe the boss orders. However, he could be very heavily punished if he takes the boss orders now, and Taketo is able to follow up with a knockout. At that point, probably the game is over. Yeah. So it's fair to prepare for the next turn.
So Azul might just say, I'm going to play it slow and see what Taketo can do, because, like, I mean, the Scrapper is, like, the only card he really needs.
Yeah.
Another Intrepid Sword, maybe just setting up the hand.
That's fair.
That looks like what he does. Another boss's orders. Now, if Taketo has the boss this turn, I think that's lights out.
Yeah.
On this.
Yeah, that's definitely lights out in this turn. If we find the boss orders in Taketo hand, very beautiful art, by the way. The full art, one of my favorites. Personal favorites. And of course, let's remember that Zacian cannot attack right now because of the Brave Blade attack, so he will need to retreat. Decides to do so. And tops it up with a Stellar Wish. What do you think is the play in case it doesn't find the boss orders?
I think just setting up another Zacian, being safe, having your options, because you're up to 2 prizes, right? So you don't need to necessarily rush anything. You can take a small knockout on a Jirachi or a Necrozma and play for the combo on the last prize. Azul doesn't play any defensive cards like you talked about earlier, so why force him into like finding those pieces? Because like you always have that guaranteed knockout, but Azul doesn't always have the guaranteed one back on you.
Indeed.
So just kind of set up the board and play from there.
Yeah, we saw these Metal Goggles doing some sparks already in the previous matches. They were pretty useful even against Blacephalon, where the Metal Frying Pan is probably the better option that we had around round 15, I would say. But there we go, that's the switch. Does he have also the boss orders to follow this up? No, Professor Research decides to just, maybe find some Metal Saucers, set up the Zacian in the bench, and take in another prize here.
This is so fun, because either if he can combo this turn, he can combo next turn. Just a combo now ends the game for him in his favor, in Taketo's favor.
Exactly.
We saw the Joji Prism is probably what he keeps putting back on top with the Oranguru. So next turn, or even this turn, he could even like set it up and get it done.
Yeah. We saw already Taketo doing it. I think it was Taketo, I'm not sure. But there we go, that's the Jirachi that actually gets put back. Let's see if he has... I'm not... Yeah, there's the Prime of Wisdom. Beautiful stuff here.
This is putting Azul in a check scenario here, not a checkmate, but just a check scenario, because he doesn't have an attachment for the bench Zacian.
Definitely
Azul
so.
Could kind of hope that he whiffs for long enough to capitalize on the game once again.
Yeah, and the Zacian is ready and primed to take the knockout here with that Brave Blade. Unfortunately, already played a supporter, so he will not take out the opposing Zacian. But let's remember that Azul has to deal with that Metal Goggles, which are blocking 30 damage off of that Zacian.
And not having the Jirachi also hurts, because that's one less card to dig through. He does have the switch and scoop up net in hand with the Jirachi, so he could do some shenanigans there. But he could promote the Dustman here, throw down Jirachi, scoop up net, put the Jirachi in active, get a dig card, see what happens off that, and then play from there.
Indeed, there's a scoop up net. Finally removing the Dustman Necrozma, not the best starter in this matchup. But thanks to scoop up net, he's able to remove it. There's even a Mani, pretty good hand disruption at this point of the game.
Yeah. He's going to have to blend that switch now.
Yeah. See what he goes for here. Putting on the Mr. Mime, and there's the Mani. Yes, thank you, CGO, for letting us know we're getting less cards.
You'd think Azul would be in a better position, because he did end up going first and hitting a really solid turn 1, but
Mhm.
Taketo pretty much hitting everything. Oh, there's a scrapper.
Oh, there's a scrapper. Massive staff here. He's able to. He's gonna discard only one goggles, but in this scenario, I think you need to start getting a foothold into this game. 'Cause you're so far behind.
I mean, Azul, I think, just would have lost if he didn't hit that there. And I think this
Yeah.
is the only chance he has of doing anything. He's going to go for the combo.
Mhm.
He's going to try to double combo. I think close out the game. I think that's his game plan.
Yeah.
Just simply
Does have
take
the
the
tools for it.
3-3. Yeah.
Does have to scoop up net in hand, so he can definitely do it. I think yeah, that's the Mr. Mime. Grabbing it back. Swapping one. And a 2 scrapper too. Fantastic stuff here for Azul, hitting all the right cards at the right moment.
Kind of perfect.
Yeah, indeed. So finally some luck for the poor Azul that didn't have such a good game continuation up until now. And drawing 3 prize cards.
And a research off that. Keep the steam going. Quick ball.
Beautiful.
Quick ball for another Zacian or anything he needs, honestly.
Indeed.
Now it's now the coin is flipped to Taketo, but Taketo has only used one metal saucer.
Metal Saucer, right? 24 cards left in the deck. 1 Jiraj available, 1 Oranguru available. I think 1 Degenet left. I'm not sure. I'm double checking his list right now. Yeah, he does play that 1 copy off.
There's a quick ball. Looks like he's gonna probably go for the Dedenne and just start digging.
Yep. And in case he doesn't find it, then Azul does have a chance to sweep this game right off Taketo's feet. So
Azul will
right,
need a lot of pieces, but he
yeah,
can do it.
that's Prima Wisdom.
Board.
Beating with a skateboard, fantastic, and discarding it.
Or maybe
Let's see.
the Primate Wisdom coming first before the Dedenne means that the card is probably like a Sycamore or something that will be useful after. 7 energy are gone. He gets the energy attachment raw.
That's fantastic. He had a few energies left. I mean, he does play a 12 energy count, which is pretty high, I would say. And there's even a scoop of net. Let's see what he grabs here. Did not use the Stellar Wish yet. Decides to take back the Dene.
So I think he's going to try to play for a double Stellar Wish, maybe. Oh, just research, just in case
Research.
He has a switch.
Discarding the cards he didn't need. And look at that. From 23 cards that he started this turn, he has 10. And that's the power combined between Dene and the... There's a Metal Saucer. Insta pick. Does he have the other one? 1.
And he's playing them both, it looks like. And that's
2.
Like game 1, yeah.
Beautiful stuff here for Takedo, and well played as well to Azul, having the dream turn and almost taking the game. I mean, of course, the turn after he would have needed some cards, but I'm pretty sure he could have done it with enough assistance.
Important to note that even though Azul got to go first, the first boss's order played was really the big turning point in the game.
Definitely.
And the Metal Goggles versus
the Metal Goggles. Absolutely massive.
Because if no Metal Goggles, Azul could have started a race, for lack of better terms. But because of Metal Goggles and he didn't have an answer that turn, if he hit, I mean, he could have still hit and tried to find a scrapper later and try like a power turn, but he decided to play it defensively, and that one turn where he played it defensively instead of hitting in might have cost him, because he was playing for the 2 combos, I think, instead of just going for a 2, like a standard prize route.
Yep, that's definitely what changed the meta. But as you said, the 2 main cards with the boss orders and the Metal Goggles. And of course, Azul had some problems finding that 2 scrapper. But yeah, interestingly enough, Sonya did not come much of a use in this game. Maybe we'll see it appearing into this game finally.
Azul's game 2 hand does not look good.
No, definitely not. So look at that. That's coming across, but which cannot even do. Yeah, he's just shaking the cards around because that's what I do as well. The That's coming across is
okay.
Oh, okay. Oof.
Saved by the top deck.
Dodged the bullet.
Yeah, I mean, if Azul like didn't draw anything off the top, I think you have to bench the Dustman and just hope for the. Oh, that's good.
Okay,
no,
okay.
We're fine.
We're fine, boys. We're back in the game.
He's got to scoop up net to move the active. That was a pretty good 3 cards.
Yes, those were some the 3 cards he needed. Professor Reacher for next turn. Even a boss's orders if you want to snipe down that Zation and take it slow. Although he probably wants to set another Zation. So if he draws, for example, a quick ball or another Zation, he's just in such a good position. So let's see what he goes for here. There's a friend ball. Big card here.
Friend Ball being included in these lists is also kind of cool because a lot of decks play Jirachi, so the
Hmm.
Zacian deck can definitely benefit from just like a free search card that isn't a
Yep.
quick ball because sometimes you don't want to discard that one card because the combo pieces, like we saw last game, Azul's hand go down to like virtually zero.
Indeed, indeed. And for
So
example, against Picrom, you could just tutor for the Dene in case you need
exactly,
it.
yeah.
So it's a pretty good card. We saw it. Stellar Wish grabbing a Professor Research.
hmm
Let's see, what should be Taketo's game plan for now?
I think if you're Takeda, you want to build up 2 Zacians here. Find the Goggle as soon as possible because you know Azul only plays 1 Scrapper, so he's going to have trouble dealing with that Goggles in the long run. So the earlier you get the Goggles down, that means that Azul can't make a power turn like we see his hand with the Scoop Up Net Boss's Orders. You can stop Azul from taking early tempo and just try to set up 2 Zacians, 1 with Goggles, 1 without, maybe just stay 1 Zacian with the Goggles. Don't even put the 2 down. And see where that goes.
Yeah, they're just doing just jumping one in front of the other with the Scoop Up Net. Here we go, Metal Goggles.
There's the Goggles.
You're talking about it. You talk about the devil. That's the Stellar Wish from the Jirachi that we already seen in Stellar Wishing. Kinda cheating out the game with this Scoop Up Net mechanics, but that's part of the game. So there's a Metal Saucer. Interesting. Goes for a Prime of Wisdom, probably swapping an energy, and we'll probably see an Intrepid Sword at this point. It would be amazing if he gets an Authorization and Intrepid Swords with that, but no, unfortunately we'll just do that.
I think if you're Takeda, even if you have the Authorization, you don't want to bench it because you're forcing Azul to answer the Goggles.
Yeah.
So you put the other one down, you're just saying, here, have a free answer.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely
Goggles,
true.
And then the Scrapper can come into play later. So by putting this Loanzation with the Goggles into play, you're saying you either need to find the Scrapper to deal with this, or you have to deal with taking 1 prize, and I have a free knockout back into you.
Yeah, that's fair. I was just going for the safest approach, but this is like very, very considerate, knowing Azul's list and knowing he just plays 1 copy of the Scrapper.
Exactly. Once that 1 Scrapper is gone, your Goggles are going to go a very long way.
Yeah. So there's the Scoop Up Net, probably removing this Mr. Mime from the active spot.
Guru.
Actually decides to do Guru so he can save 1 more card. That's a fair choice as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Professor researches his hand away.
Okay, so quick ball. He can set up a second Zacian, which is really nice, actually. Because last game we did see Azul struggle to set up a second Zacian, and so he fell behind tempo-wise
Definitely.
in the overall game.
So there is a Zacian.
He's checking to make sure his Prism and everything, all the combo pieces are in there, it looks like. He's just going to go ahead and Saucer. There's no reason to hold them in this matchup. You just want to flood the energy on the board and kind of pose a threat. He's going to go ahead and keep putting... okay, he's just giving himself a supporter out for next turn.
In case of play. Taking the knock on this Jirachi can be relevant, especially considering you have the Jirachi and the Mr. Mime combo to fix up your prizes. And let's see how Taketo is able to respond to this.
Important to note that Azul wants to take the combo knockout on this Zacian with the Tool Scrapper, because if he doesn't, and just takes 2 prizes here, the combo is going to be a lot harder to pull off when the Goggles are on board with the other one.
Definitely so, definitely so. The Goggles mess up the numbers here. And yeah, just show how much damage reduction in a meta where weakness is not too important. You know, we have Metal and Lightning being probably the 2 biggest type. We do have Psychic and Fire on the side, but we don't have direct weaknesses that win against the other. We don't have a Mewtwo meta, as you mentioned before.
Exactly.
And damage reduction is so important right now. And in fact, we see here the Metal Goggles being massively important. Scoop Up Net, let's see what he grabs by Proteor and Guru. Seeing 1 more card. That's the Prime of Wisdom. And let's see, probably we'll see Professor Research this turn, considering he just used his resources. As well, a quick ball would be fantastic for him here.
Not later, Sonia.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, at least we saw it, right?
Yeah.
Kind of made an
put
appearance.
into a spot where I was going to say maybe he considers not benching the Zacian because that Azul could bosses and use a combo. But I think the game, when you fall behind like this, Takeda just wants to make sure he has a backup in case Azul can deal with the Goggles.
That's fair, that's fair. And I'm pretty sure Taketo just discarded 2 of his boss's orders. Nothing you want to see in this sort of matchup. The Zacian gets down. And Azul's hand is not fantastic. Does have a Marnie to fetch more cards.
He has a
Never mind.
Well. He put that on top last turn, so he's got that. He's going to go ahead and put bosses on top. Research it up. Scrapper really is the only thing he needs. Not having Jirachi kind of sucks.
Yeah, definitely. Being Zacian, a deck that relies a lot on resources and on the cards that you need in specific moments, Jirachi is like the pivotal point of the deck as well. So not having it really hurts. Let's see if this acrobatic, not a replica. All these golden cards kind of offset, right?
Yeah. Looks like, I mean, the saucer is a good pickup here, but
Yep.
you are not dealing with the problem
Yeah.
at hand right now.
Ignoring the elephant in the room, or the dog with a sword.
I mean, he can still do the play he chose not to make last game. I think this time he's pressured to make it by just attacking, and saying, this 230 will have to take me the distance for now.
Yeah.
And then hopefully I find Scrapper.
Yeah. And can even take a knockout with the Jirachi in the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
To give an out price, but yeah. Does even the wish upon a star Jirachi? Probably already taken the combo pieces that he needs.
He can set up another Zacian like right here. He's just gonna put it on top. I think he's just gonna combo it, put it into the combo. Because there's no reason not to this turn.
Mine's the boss's orders. There we go. Metal saucer, and the energy. Actually, you already attached return.
Already attached.
But that's fine.
He can't do the combo this turn, so he's thinking about. Because I mean, he can still put it in the prizes, right? So there's no reason not to.
Yeah, exactly.
And then play for the boss next turn and try to find the Scrapper off the like 2 cards, I guess.
Yeah, because also you don't really want to draw. This is where you have another Primate Wisdom that you have access to a card that you don't know. But right now you can do and remove that Jirachi off of the top. So there's a scoop up net. He's considering it, eyeing up his options.
He's going down to a super low hand size, which is like.
Yeah, it's pretty scary though.
And I think you just got to swing for the 230, and you have to put all your chips on having a really big turn next turn.
Definitely so. And as well, he will have that extra prize card drawn from the Jirachi, but if he's not able to knock out this Zacian with the metal goggles, it's not gonna go anywhere from him.
Very interesting play where Azul just says, I'm gonna reset my hand. I don't feel the pressure.
Interesting.
But in this situation, if Taketo finds a boss this turn, I mean, he is down to boss. Keep that in mind.
Exactly.
But if he does find the boss this turn, then Azul is in a really, really bad spot. Because what's he going to do? Not attack with Zacian?
No, definitely. That's not the play to do. And Taketo as well plays only 3 copies of the boss's orders. He does not play any Mewtwo. And he already discarded 2. So as long as there's 1 left, he could draw it. But if he doesn't, then probably Azul is still fine. Doesn't mind giving an odd prize here. There's the Sonia! We saw it!
So he's like, hey, Azul's play does not get punished. I mean, he can still combo this turn, which technically means there's punish. But you have to hope Takeda doesn't set up the other Zacian, which he just Sonia'd, so he should have the pieces, right?
He already played already a bunch of metal saucers.
I'm looking at Azul right now, and he does seem very nervous. He's standing up, pacing.
It's just, you see how much these metal goggles are shifting the matchups. This was very similar, like to the previous meta when ADP Zacian was like the god and emperor of the meta, because when you had metal frying pan, sometimes it was hard to play when the opponent didn't GX, and that was like super punishing. And right now, since they're playing this version, this damage reduction is so important. Brave Blade, and we'll probably see the Jirachi can hold off to it if he wants to. He's taking it slow. But he could draw it right away if he wants to draw an extra card. But there we go, in fact.
He knows it's there. So now if I'm Azul, I'm in a really, really, really scary spot.
It's rough. It's rough for him.
You have to deal with the goggles. Taketo's going to have a Jirachi with the board.
Yep.
So you need to do so much this turn.
Yeah, the Scrapper right now does something, but the best thing that Azul can do in the situation is probably disrupt the opponent's hand. It's looking very, very massive. And he does not play any copy of the reset stamp. He does play those 2 Marnies, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have 1 in hand, so that's fine for this turn.
Yeah, you can Primate Wisdom the Dedenne on top, because you might need to dig for the thing.
Definitely.
The Scrapper. So probably just an attached Marnie here.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's a
The
scrapper.
scrapper.
Azul
Beautiful.
gets to stay alive a little bit longer.
Hmm.
And it's just you're still putting Takeda to 4, which is like, we saw how
Yeah.
quickly the 23 cards in deck became like 9.
Yeah, exactly. But that still has the Dene, and I think at least 2 Professor Research left in the deck. So Taketo has definitely the tool to take this down. This is wondering whether to bench the Jirachi or not. Of course, he already placed the Jirachi, I believe, in the prizes. Azul, that is. So it
It's
isn't
bottom
really.
prize, I believe.
Yeah, and he decides and he selects it. Jirachi, wish upon a star. Yes, please. I'd like to draw an extra prize card.
Azul is with the double switch in hand is saying, if you don't have game this turn, I've got it.
Yep.
What can you do? Can we go to a game 3? Will Takedo have what he needs off 5 cards?
Yeah, it's possible. There's a metal
There's a
saucer. And the speed in which he played it, this time is that he might have it already. Let's see. Actually, he's holding off to it. Azul really showing off his Goldenization right here.
It's a very beautiful card. Azul thinking about the options. What happens if
you can feel the tension in the air here. Taketo and Azul in a really close matchup. There's the Professor Research. Metal Saucer. And is there a switch? There's the switch!
And that's the game set.
And that's great played. 230 damage. Taken away that Zacian V. Dog against dog violence. And that's gonna end it here. Congratulations to Taketo Seki for taking down this tournament. It's probably very late where he is right now. So go get some rest, man. You've well earned it. And as well played to Azul.
Azul, fantastic, I think, took a couple of conservative lines that they did pay off, but they didn't pay off exactly how he wanted them to. I think he got too tunnel vision on some of the combo pieces. If he had gone for scrapper plays or just hit and try to get the scrapper, play a little bit more aggressively, he might not have found himself in the same situation.
I definitely. And as well, Metal Goggles. Amazing cards. What does this tell you? Play Metal Goggles or Metal Frying Pan, people. If you expect to play against Asians, that is. They're pretty good as well against Pikarom. I mean, as I said, damage reduction in this meta, where the weakness is not super important, can definitely be the biggest factor in a matchup.
Having extra HP, this is pretty good. Yeah.
Indeed. What do you make of this tournament? Since the finals were 2 monetizations, how do you think the meta has evolved from the previous one?
I think when the meta popped out, Pika was like the obvious deck that was really good because Boltund and Speed Energy and the Guzmahala engine. Pika still showed up. It popped off, but the Zacian deck has a good matchup into Pika because of the combo pieces.
Yeah.
You almost always can knock out the Boltund. You can knock out the Tapu Koko V. These like extra additional like tech cards these guys are playing. And then at the end of the day, I think the meta is going to shape back into when the actual invitational comes around, it's going to be very interesting to see what players bring because it'll be a smaller pool.
Indeed.
And not best of one all the way through.
So exciting, everyone. We probably have Philip later on to talk to you guys about that. But as well, the people that are getting into the 12 people that will be joining us for the invitational are already making clear. We, for example, Kimpo Vega, we're pretty sure he is in with 36 points since he's top 16 this time and the win last time. So Ross Cotton as well is probably going to be in. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of big names.
And I think Azul will be on the bubble with this. I'm not entirely sure if the win puts him in.
Probably around 26, 28 points will have the bubble. So yeah, thank you everybody that played in this invitationals. Thank you everybody that has worked on this invitational.
My mic was muted. Hey guys. Azul is actually at 27 points and tied for 12th place with Avi right now. And actually both have a second place in the top 128, so we also have the exact same tiebreaker since both didn't bubble a single time. So yeah, it's kind of weird how we resolve this, since we have a double elimination bracket, so we can't put an uneven amount of players into that. So yeah, we will have to check if we can adjust the distribution between the players and content creators, or if we can add another tiebreaker to resolve this. Kind of awkward, since Avi and Azul have the same finishes. Otherwise, we had the time breakers with how many people have bubbled, etc.
Oh my god, that's such a niche result.
That's pretty funny that it panned out exactly like that.
Yeah. Oh well. Guess yeah. Yeah, we'll look further into
about
that.
the invitational, what we know already, Philip.
Yeah, I do have a list. Let me check it. We do know that Dominik Maliczki Demix from Poland is in the first spot with 39 points, I think, and second is Ross Corton.
Taketo Seki actually surpassed him.
Oh yeah, actually true.
42 points.
Taketo will be first now.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
I think I have the list here provided by Lydia. I think it's a provisional list for now. And Taketo Seki is first. Second is Dominik, followed by Ross Collin, then Kim.
I forgot Taketo. Now with his 24 extra points, he's definitely first.
Congratulations to him, making really the miracle here.
So, then we have Kimpo Bega as well, Axel Alvarez, who we've seen in one of our top 8s as well, and who has, I think, 3 day 2s as well in this series. So
he made top 16.
I lost to him in the last one.
Yeah.
Then we have Oliver, the winner of our first qualifier, who made it in. Kevin Griego, who made top 8 at the first one and went to 8-2 the next 2 as well. And for this one, he lost his win and in.
Pretty unfortunate.
Went 8-5, but he's in us 8 anyways. Aaron Friedman, who we've seen on in the last round on
I believe
stream.
he top 8 1 as well with Mill.
Yeah, possible. I'm not entirely sure, but he definitely had a lot of day 2 showings. So then Joshua Vanovershel, the Zapdos TCG, one of our content creators, made it in through playing. So yeah, our content creators are not just good at entertaining people; they are also really good players
and really good casters as well. Here, Rahul.
Yeah, true.
Thank you for joining us today, by the way.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, right. Don't forget to vote for Rahul once our voting goes live, so you can see him in the invitational as well. If you want to see him play. Another player, Gabo van Meen from Germany, is also in with 28 points.
Our current world champion in seniors.
Yeah, Gabo's her big brother. So, yeah.
K-John having a miracle run. I think he only played the last 2 he might have, and then he made it just based on 2 qualifiers.
Yeah, Kim did as well. Yeah, I think a lot of people actually are. I see some people here that played all 4, but a few people as well have made it, and even people that are not in this 12 people list, they still played. So thank you for even if you played only 1.
Yeah, and then Gabor's number 11, and number 12 will be Avi or Azul or maybe both. I don't know how to resolve this right now. We are discussing it internally. And are trying to come up with a solution. Maybe we can have a tiebreaker game between the 2 to decide it. I don't know. Awkward spot. But
maybe the best thing would be if people vote for Azul, then he would be dropped to the content creators, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure you guys can discuss it with Azul and Avi and kind of get a group message going between the 2 and see what the best resolution is between all parties.
But and it shows once again that the content creators are also excellent players.
That's
for sure.
2 of the content creators in the pool that we have. And I mean, I think Azul is probably the most prominent content creator the game has right now. So I mean, huge shout out to him for kind of showing up and doing well. I know he lost his last win in playing Firebox, but he's really coming back and getting a second is no small feat.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the players that sadly missed is Shintaro Ito, 26 points. He was almost in there.
Oh wow!
Shucks, man.
And he was doing really great in the first 2, and I think in the last 2 he went. In this one he definitely went 8-5, so 1 win short of day 2. And I think in the Q3 he also went either 8-5 or was at least very close to making day 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he came very close, but didn't manage to get all the way there. So we had a lot of great players, and I think these qualifiers with online series had basically all that I was hoping for. We had great players come up with amazing performances. like Ross Corton, for example, but we also had a lot of new players that I didn't hear before, like Dominic, who I've never heard before, who didn't have any finish before, but managed to get in a second seed, and also day 2'd all 4 of our qualifiers, so amazing performance by him. Then we also saw a lot of new decks, like ADP Spiritomb, for example. We saw a lot of meta shifts. It was constantly evolving, so basically everything I had hoped for from a spectator perspective going into this online series was fulfilled. And yeah, now I'm very excited to look forward to the Invitational. I hope you guys are excited for it as well in 2 weeks. And once again, don't forget to vote for our content creators. The shop on SmashGG is going up soon, so you will be able to use your votes then. And yeah, that's it from this qualifier. I hope you enjoyed it. And once again, the biggest of thank yous to all the viewers and of course our sponsor for this qualifier, TCG Player, who is providing the prize pool and who came in basically last minute and agreeing to sponsor this and partially making this possible as well. And so here's one final spot, and afterwards we will go online. So good night.